Welcome to the Cannabis Compliance Podcast, an educational infocast series on important compliance topics in the cannabis industry from Adherence Compliance. Adherence Compliance is the #1 provider of automated cannabis compliance solutions and services for regulatory agencies supporting cannabis. We provide compliance inspection software, operations training, inspection services, and program support for the cannabis industry. Adherence Compliance supports 3 practice verticals. For our government services partners, Adherence provides regulatory code support, compliance inspection software, regulatory reporting, and program management. For our financial services practice, we provide in-depth training for banks and credit unions to establish compliant cannabis banking programs. For our enterprise services clients, Adherence provides licensed cannabis businesses and multi-jurisdiction operations with automated cannabis compliance programs and services. Now, over to our subject matter expert for today's Cannabis Compliance podcast topic.
Today's cannabis compliance topic is cannabis training programs. Training programs are critical to the success of your cannabis organization. For all license types in cannabis, regulations require that license owners routinely train employees on specific processes and procedures. For the cannabis organization, our goal is to improve performance, increase revenue, and to reduce overall risk, including compliance and operational risk to satisfy regulatory requirements. 2 types of cannabis training programs are executive and employee training. For executive training programs, the cannabis enterprise will focus on leadership and achieving company goals. In the cannabis industry, executive and leadership training is often overlooked and is a critical component to success. For employee training programs, the focus is on developing specific training courses to support regulatory requirements by license type. Employees must follow required processes and procedures, so it is imperative to routinely train employees to ensure compliance with city, county, state, and federal regulations. Common focus areas for developing training programs include the stage of the business, overall roles and responsibilities, meeting industry requirements, and ensuring proper vendor selection. Adherence Compliance has been fortunate as we provide annual training programs to city, county, and state regulatory agencies. In the cannabis industry, it is important to ensure your training provider has relevant experience with regulatory agencies and avoid those vendors who do not. As mentioned earlier, one critical area of failure for many cannabis businesses is failing to provide training to the executive and leadership staff. To support your organizational development goals and position for future growth, ensure your leadership team has advanced training to succeed. Common areas of focus for cannabis executives include compliance and operations management. To be an effective leader, first we must monitor and report on compliance to be able to make effective decisions based on results or evidence. Without compliance and operations data, the business is essentially flying blind. Compliance and operations includes requirements, rules, and standards, along with policies and procedures to support multiple levels of regulatory agencies. For inventory and financial training, executives should fully understand the impacts of inventory and financial issues, and proactively manage inventory control to ensure all inventory and revenue is accounted for and properly recorded for tax purposes. More than 80% of cannabis businesses fail inventory tracking requirements. So if you think your business or cannabis investment is compliant, think again. There is a 4 out of 5 chance that your business or cannabis investment is not compliant. As cannabis business executives, employees are looking to us to solve problems and guide them through change. To be successful, we must bring the right set of skills to achieve results for our teams. For the cannabis organization, employee education and training is critical to success as well. For these programs, we need to ensure employees are provided specific knowledge and skill sets to meet our business goals. The focus here is mainly on regulatory requirements and safety. Critical areas to focus on for employee training programs include inventory control and management. From intake to transport manifest, all employees should fully understand cannabis chain of custody and inventory control. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, are the foundation of training for a cannabis business. Not only should employees be formally trained on SOPs, SOPs should be physically available in the facility for review. Remember, online versions of standard operating procedures are not compliant and should not be used for your business. Other common areas of employee training programs include labeling, packaging, and product safety, cannabis testing, security and surveillance, and more. After 6 years in the cannabis industry, Adherence Compliance has developed a 22-course training curriculum for regulatory agencies, banks, and cannabis businesses and investors. For more information on our industry-leading courses, please contact Adherence Compliance today. For cannabis executive and employee training programs, we need to ensure all applicable license types are included as part of our training curriculum. For dispensaries and stores, our focus is on inventory intake, processing, storage, display, and legal compliance sales. It is also important to include business records required and reporting. For cultivation centers, the focus will be on origination of plants, chain of custody throughout the facility, and harvest and transport. Department of Agriculture, both at the county and state level, is critical along with safety requirements. For cannabis manufacturers and processors, we focus on raw materials intake, processing, equipment and maintenance, along with good manufacturing practices. Food Serve, Safe Serve, and safety certifications are important as well. For distributors and transporters, the focus is on acceptance of transport manifests, cannabis and cannabis products, as well as the legal transport of cannabis goods. And finally, for testing laboratories, training programs center around sampling, certification, testing methods and procedures, certificates of analysis, and much, much more. After 6 years of experience in the cannabis industry, Adherence Compliance has developed a wide range of cannabis industry best practices. For cannabis training programs, we recommend hiring a trusted third party to support your training needs. Developing an internal training program can be very expensive. On top of this, cannabis rules and regulations are ever changing. To continually retool your executive and employee training programs can be cost prohibitive. Our second recommendation is to establish a consistent schedule. Often, intensive one-time training courses can be quickly forgotten. To ensure your team retains training knowledge, offer training courses once a month to keep up the interest level and promote staff engagement. When providing executive and employee training, be sure to obtain input from the attendees. This will ensure inclusion and a more effective training program buy-in from stakeholders. Remember, cannabis training is an investment into your future. To succeed in cannabis, make sure your executives and employees are trained with the latest content and best practices. Cannabis compliance is not expensive. However, non-compliance can cost you everything.
For the cannabis enterprise, Adherence offers 3 affordable compliance programs specifically designed for cannabis operators. Each program level includes a special discount rate on compliance services. Our entry-level program provides one user license to the Adherence Score app. The app is perfect for inspecting your cannabis license, researching regulations by license type, and viewing compliance reports. Our platform includes all regulatory cannabis code at the city, county, state, and federal level. With each user license comes one monthly cannabis compliance program review for you and your staff to discuss compliance issues and best practices. Our Chief Compliance Officer program provides up to 5 hours of cannabis compliance program support per month, including weekly meetings and a monthly review. CCO program subscribers obtain Adherence's bi-weekly state cannabis regulatory update for the latest in agency news. And finally, our Enterprise Compliance Officer program supports large multi-state, multi-country enterprises with more than 5 licensed locations. No matter what size your cannabis business is, Adherence has a compliance program to fit your needs and budget. Not sure where to start when it comes to cannabis compliance? Adherence provides a la carte compliance services for business owners and industry stakeholders, including hourly consultative support is priced at $250 per hour. Cannabis compliance and operations training is $750 per hour for the group rate. Adherence's industry-leading on-site cannabis compliance inspections are a 2-day automated service at $3,000 per operational license. Discounts are available for multi-licensed businesses and current clients. Our flagship standard operating procedure service is offered by license type to ensure you have all you need to start your business and update your operating procedures. Avoid using web-based SOP solutions as they may not meet regulatory requirements for on-site reviews and staff training. Adherence also provides cannabis inventory management services on a monthly basis to ensure your cannabis inventory systems are up to date, compliant, and ready for regulatory reviews. For those who are interested in starting a cannabis business, Adherence Compliance offers business application and license support services, which includes a business plan, standard operating procedure, and application project plan by license type. Whether you are a license owner, investor, bank, or regulatory agency, Adherence Compliance has affordable compliance programs and services for you and your organization. Start smart, start compliant. Contact Adherence Compliance via web, email, phone, or text message to get started today.